Good morning, guys. Welcome to this special Sunday morning story. Let's sit back, relax, have a nice cup of hot tea, and let's get started. So, as you can tell by the intro, it's a little different because this Sunday morning story is the 5-year anniversary of when I met R5. What? I can't believe it's been 5 years, and it really feels like it hasn't been that long. So, in case some of you are just like stumbling upon this, and y'all are wondering like, what is R5? Who is R5? So, R5 was actually a band that was kind of formed right around the time that Ross Lynch, the lead singer, was in Disney Channel. So, it's him, his two older brothers, his sister, and their good friend that they actually met during this journey and finding their footing in entertainment. So their first like full-length album is called Louder, and then comes Sometime Last Night, and then they made another EP, a single, and then they kind of just disbanded. And actually they disbanded, and then they kind of rebuilt itself. It was like a team effort to make it what it is now, the Driver era, with just Ross and his brother. So, how did I become a fan of R5? So, it was a long story. I don't remember most of it, how it came to be. I think it was like the summer of when I was getting into high school. I was just like, drawing and listening to music, and then maybe it's just curiosity that got me to see what Ross does, and then the introduction of his band R5, and then it took off from there. And I think the first two songs that I heard was Loud and Pass Me By, and they're pretty good songs though, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it was like because of that I became I wouldn't say obsessed, but it was like developed a crush on Ross Lynch. I mean, who wouldn't? His smile can go on for days. It was just like, I've seen really great smiles, but his is actually, I love it. So, how in the heck did I get this lucky to meet the band? Well, I've been wanting to meet the band for most of my time that I was a fan. I thought, oh, that would be so cool. And then when I found out that they're actually coming to Oregon for their their U.S. tour for their album Sometime Last Night, and I got so excited. I was like, yo, Mom, Dad, I would love to meet them. They're coming to Eugene. And Mom and Dad are like, yeah, whatever. Like, I know my parents, and they're more like, yeah, that's never going to happen. They're realists. And sometimes their realism takes it to another level, to like being pessimistic. But I thought, I was holding on to it for a while, and then I was like, come on, guys. So yeah. And I think it was around July. It was a good like month or so before the concert. So my parents invited my best friend and her family over for whatever reason it was. I think it was just we were hanging out, I thought. But then my parents sat us down, and I was like, what is going on? And I think Mom made this speech, or my dad made this speech or something, and gave me this, like, it looks like a t-shirt that was rolled up, and it was like in a ribbon. And I was like, oh, cute. And when I opened up, it was that yellow shirt that you see everywhere on social media, that yellow shirt with the heart with the R5 logo like all over it. And when I opened it up, I saw a little card. I know my parents made that because that is not the actual ticket. And it says R5. And when I immediately read it, I was like, holy shit, I'm going to meet them. And I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah. And then they gave the same t-shirt and card to my best friend. I was like, holy shit, this is happening. I was just lots of words when that actually happened, and we were so excited. And at the time, like half of my room, 3/4 of my room was covered with Ross's face and R5. It was like all over my room. It was crazy how that came to be as like so many posters. But yeah, it was so exciting to like say, hey, I'm going to meet them, and yeah. And I think for like a good month, I was counting down the days, and Bud was excited, but I don't think she was as excited as I am, because it was like, for her, she was like, oh crap, I need to know all the songs. I must know who's who, and all that. So on the day, August 15th, 2015, I wanted to get out as soon as possible, but Bud had to work, and then we actually loaded up into, her mom's car, and we drove west to Eugene. And at the time, I'll give you a little backstory. So at the time, my hair was much shorter than this. My hair was like, it was parted like this way with a little like piece of it hanging out there. No, it was like hanging out right here, maybe. I don't remember. And it was so short. Like, I got a haircut, it was around Monday, give or take. And, but it was so short. It was so cute. And, but yeah, it was, when we got there, it was really hot, and we actually checked out the venue. It was Cooper's Amphitheater. So we kind of drove around, and we thought it was the tour bus, but it was not. It was just somebody's tour bus that was traveling with them, and I actually had to look and be like, oh, that's not their tour bus. Dang. So we had like a limited time before we had to meet them, and we went to the hotel that was nearby, and we actually kind of got dressed. Like, I changed out of my shirt, did my makeup a little bit. She kind of dressed down. Like, I was looking back, I was like thinking, seriously? Could you just wear shorts? It's like 80 degrees and humidity is like 70%. It was hot that day. And yeah, it was, we were like so excited, and we were like, oh my God, this is really happening. And I think Bud was about to break down. Not break down, but break down in like happiness. Like, oh, she was so nervous. But I was like, yo, we can do this. And then we got there. I think we met them. I think the meet and greet was like at 4 or something. 4 or 6, maybe. Because the concert, like the main part of the concert started at around like, 8 or something? I don't remember. But it was around like late afternoon, and there was this long ass line. It was such a long line, and we were like one of the last ones that we met them. And luckily, I came across with a lot of the fans. And at the time, I had an iPhone 4, and my phone case was an R5 phone case. And so I was decked out, pretty much. And everyone loved the phone case. They were like, I love your phone case. I love your phone case. I'm like, thanks. And we were talking, and I think one of the girls that we encountered, I think it was her uncle. Yeah, it was some family member that was their bus driver, which is a small world. And when we get close to where they're at, so here's like the whole amphitheater. I think we were like halfway there. I think we saw a little opening, and they were like right over there, and we kind of saw their heads a little, but I wouldn't want to do it. But once we got closer, they're really tall. They're so freaking tall. I don't know if it's in the genes or what, but they are tall. They're much taller than both of us. And And so when I saw their blonde heads, I was like, oh no, I'm getting butterflies thinking that. So I was like, come on, keep it cool, love R5, keep it cool. It was a line I wrote down or something like that. But yeah, it was, when I saw them, I was like, oh my god, this is real. And I was like freaking out, almost. I was freaking out on the inside. I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, I never met a celebrity in my life, so it was like a first time experience. So I was kind of on autopilot, but I remember most of it. Remember the first person that I hugged was Rydel. And she was, I mean, I feel like I get a little bit of a she would get that sweetness from her. Like, she was so sweet, she was so kind, and she dressed out, she was like, beautiful young woman. And then the next person, it was one of those two guys. I think it was like Ratliff or Riker. I feel like it's first Riker and then Ratliff, but my memory may be a little foggy. So after hugging one of those guys, I turn around. As I turn around, the guy with a really nice smile that I really, really liked since before I started high school, Ratliff was right in front of me, like a couple feet away from me. And I was thinking on my mind, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, ah! And, but on the outside, I try to keep it cool, because I don't want to feel, like, really embarrassing. And, but I was like, hi, Ron, it was nice to meet you. And I hugged him, and I felt like I melted into his arms, like, seriously. And also, while I was hugging him, remember, I was 16 going on 17, and I caught a whiff of his cologne, and at the time I was like, "Oh, I like that," but I didn't think it was like, "Oh, I like that in a sexy way." I was like, "Oh, I like that because you have good hygiene." And the last person I hugged was Rocky, and Rocky was towering, like maybe not like 6 foot, but like 6'5", maybe taller, and I kind of felt like a good presence with him. And at first I was like kind of joking, like, did I almost forget you? I don't know why I said that. I was like, did I almost forget you? Like, I was about to end the door, and I was like, did I forget you? And he laughed. I mean, he kind of went with my joke. And I hugged it. It kind of felt like I was hugging my cousin almost, which is weird. And then, yeah, we finally, we did a picture. And in the picture that you saw in every social media, where it was just me, my best friend, and the band, I actually was looking at the photographer instead of the camera. Damn it! It was oh man, I would have done it all over again if I had to. This is one of those moments where I would have done it all over again. And then yeah, and then when I was about to head out, I was like, hey, break a leg. Good luck. But yeah, it was, while we're doing this, like, you know, group picture, I thought I was next to Ross, because I could feel his denim jacket. And, but no, it was not. It was, no, I wasn't, but, that was cool. I mean, it was like, my best friend's, favorite band member was Rydel, and mine was Ross, and we kind of, like, it was a switcheroo, but it was like, I don't know who's there. So yeah, it was like a really surreal experience. And then when we walked into the house of the venue, we were like internally screaming. And there's some things I wish we could have done. Like, I wish we would have known that in the background check we don't have to sit where we're supposed to be seated. Because around the background check, where we were originally seated, Ross kind of came down from the hills from back there, through where we were supposed to be sitting, and then onto the stage for background check. And I was like, dang it, I should have said something. I would be like, hey, nice tiara, or hey, nice crown. and he would have said something, I don't know. I mean, there's so many things I would have done, and, yeah. And also, after the background check, again, it was, like, overwhelming in a good way, and, yeah, we hung out, and with the money that I saved up from a pet sitting job, I actually got this bandana. Riker, if you're watching this, I still have this bandana. Thank you. And, yeah, I bought it, and I saw, what was it, Riker wearing something like this, at the meet and greet. But also, it was a little different. Maybe it's the same bandana, but how he placed it was a little different. But I actually wore it the same way that he did for the Dancing with the Stars, one of his dances, spring break dance. So it was like my bangs hanging down, and he had the exact same way for his dance. So it was like pretty cool, and it was really fun though. It was like it was a good break, and I was kind of like self-aware of everything, and like, okay, are they going to come in, mingle with everybody, or are they just way back there where you can't interact with the fans or something like that? But, yeah, one of the things I remember was when we were about to get dinner, our moms were kind of, like, bickering. It was so funny. It was like, no, I'll pay. No, I'll pay. You drove. And it was like, no. It was like, no, you pay. No, you pay. No, you pay. It was so funny. Yeah, we got dinner finally, and we got some good stuff in our system, so we could do the things that we do at a concert. And so the first pre-show was of Low Brother Ryland with his DJ, and I wonder if he's still doing that, but yeah, he was actually really good. He got us all hyped up, and being a Lynch, I mean, come on. And then comes the the guest singer, Jacob Whiteside, and that was one of the few moments during the summer where my mom was like, "Can we take him home?" And I'm like, "No." I remember my mom texting me while we were watching it, and she was like, "Can we take him home?" And I'm like, "No." Remember, I was 16, so I was like, no, we cannot take cute guys home and call it my brother, like, he has a family. So, it was really funny, though, and then, there was, like, this long wait period, where I was mingling with a few other, fans as well, same for Bud, and it was like, one of the guys that, if you remember in the R5 concert video 5 years ago, when I turned the camera to this guy, I was interacting with him. I have no idea why I did this, but I was just, I think at the time I was always the person that was like, say hi, but I don't do that anymore. So then, it was a long wait period, and then we're like, come on, let's get it going. And we were like shouting R5, R5. And then they came, and it was like everyone got crazy. We went to the front row and with the crowd. And the first song that they played was All Night. I mean, even listening to that song, it brought me back. So All Night really got us going, and that was a great start. And but yeah, it was like there's so many good parts about the concert. One of my favorite parts was, now remember, I was wearing this bandana over my head, right? So it was at the beginning of the concert. It was like maybe a few songs in. So Rocky and Riker were going back and forth. And I was at Rocky's part of the stage most of it. So I got some really good photos of Rocky. So then Riker was there, and he was playing his bass. I don't know what came over me. So I was like waving at him, and then we made eye contact. And this is what he did while playing his bass. Like 4 or 5 girls around me were like screaming. I was like, did he do this to me? And then I found out, like, yeah! I was, like, talking about it. I was like, did he? And she's like, yeah, he did that to you. And I was like, ah! That was before he got married. So it was like, yeah, that was cool. And it was really fun. There was a lot of, like, really cool, like, you know, stage tech stuff. And that was before I got into stage tech class. Such as during I Know You Got Away and Rocky and Ross were doing a duet with each other, and it was like all red lighting. That was so, so cool. And of course, you know, the disco for Dark Side and the Feel Good LED, that was pretty cool. There was a little mishaps here and there, like one of the boys' guitar, the string broke. And of course, Ross with the flies, I'm like, come on. I was about to say to him, like, hey, you're in Oregon, get used to it. Like, if I would go there now, I would be like, Ross, you're in Oregon, get used to it. Put on bug spray. So that was funny, and but yeah, it was a really, really fun concert. And then what a lot of people don't know was that when we were about to go to the pool, I could have seen it, but the band actually was on my floor, like across the hall from me, because it was like from what I heard from my mom was that there was a little commotion going on, and then Mom opened up the door, and there was Riker on the phone, and he's like, don't tell anyone, don't tell anyone. So, and she's like, but hey, I mean, I wish I could have seen that, and with my bandana, and he would be like, I wish he could have been like, you're so cool. I wish he could have been like, you're so cool. And I was like, thank you, I love you. But yeah, it was like a really, really fun concert. That kind of prompted, you know, because of that concert, that prompted me to give a shot at writing songs, because I write stories, so maybe writing songs would be my thing. But to be honest, I'm not as musically talented as my dad. So that was a good one, and that kind of prompted me. Maybe it prompted me to make more videos for you guys, but because of that R5 video, I was like more grateful of, like, you know, my content, and even if it was bad or anything. So it was yeah, and then right, it was like after that I have more appreciation for the band. I'm not like a huge fan like I used to, but I have more appreciation of what they do, and I always say, you know, I would love to meet them again, because I'm going into the film business, and if you've seen some of my film stuff on my channel, you can understand why. And yeah, it was something that I always cherish. This is like the best night of my life. Maybe until I get married, but who knows? But this was the hands down the best night of my life. It was more than, you know, graduation night. It was more than, you know, prom night. It was, I thought, you know, prom night and graduation night would be like the best nights of my life, but no, it wasn't. It was that night with R5. It was great. So one of the questions that you guys may have is, would you meet Driver Era? That was one of those things that I thought of myself. I was like, you know, that would be so cool if I would be like, hey, you remember me? But I'm pretty sure, you know, after meeting a gazillion girls, they would be like, whatever. But yeah, it would have been so cool if I'm like do like a comparison between R5 and Driver Era, where it's just me meeting them, and I'm just like, you know, hey. And yeah, it would be so cool if I like pull up on my phone and be like, hey, this was me, this is you guys, we met before. And yeah, that would be so cool. And again, love to work with them in film or other projects and all that. So, you know. Anyways, so If you guys want to see more R5 content on my channel, you're going to see an R5 concert that I did 5 years ago, and also the EP, their very last EP as a band, R5. The reaction that racked up so many views. R5 commented on it, and it's going to be like either here or here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. So I don't know if I'm going to give more R5, but get ready for some cuteness coming your way. Yes, I'm going to have something cute coming to you guys, so you would enjoy it. I almost forget to tell you what the next Sunday Morning Stories is all about. So the next Sunday Morning Stories is quite blissful in the part of my life that it would hurt me, but I cherish it a little bit. So it's going to be talking about my first love. So if my first love is watching this, get ready. Stay tuned.